What if I would tell you that in order to succeed in life, you just need to be at the right place at the right time and meet the right people? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Irreplaceable, and I am your host, Ira. Today, I'm going to tell you about the power of networking because cha-ching, your girl just learned a new life hack. Do you ever think about the personality hire in your company? Do you ever look at someone and imagine, what are you doing here? How are you even capable of sitting in the same seat when you don't have the skills to prove? It's not dumb luck. It's not confidence. It's a very calculated research on how to climb the ladders very smartly through the powers of networking. Do not underestimate this person, because once you realize that life is a game of snake and ladder and you just need to go up, play your trick in such a way that you reach the ladder, the jump that you're going to have, that's the power of networking. Finding out that there are levels up and boost up powers in this game of life, that is networking. Networking makes your life easier, and the sooner you become friends with it rather than obstruct it, the easier your life will get. Right after college, I went to this company, which was a pretty reputable company. It was one of the big fours. And there was this colleague of mine who was from the same college as I was, we were friends, and he was there with me. I used to find him extremely annoying because he would just talk and yap and go non-stop. Like, imagine me complaining about someone yapping. And this guy, he was just insufferable because he didn't know anything. He does not care about the presentation. He does not care about work. All he would do is sit with people at different tables and just yap non-stop. Whether it's the director, whether it's the employee, whether it's the janitor, whether it's anyone, this guy is just hanging out with everyone simultaneously. And he's never tired. This is also a very close friend. I love observing people, especially from afar. I would see what they do, how they do it, and I love to study them. This dude, all he did was sweet talk. And he got a bad rep initially. In college, people would just tell him that, oh, you're a bootlicker, you just know how to please people, you just have to get your way. But the older I got, I realized, isn't that really a life hack? That's his skill. He knows how to talk to people and he knows who wants to listen to what. So when you give that to the people, you get boosted up. This dude went up the organization so quickly. Everyone was a fan of his. And it's not that he was very charming, good looking, he knew how to talk and get his way around. No, darling. He was relentless. He just wouldn't give up. He would just go on and on. Either people would give it to him because they were so convinced and they, bought in anything he sold. Or people were just sick of him and they just wanted him to shut up. So if this is what it's going to take you to shut up, take this and leave. I have learned so much from this guy. Literally, the power of begging is what I would say, He would just be shameless about asking what he wanted and getting it out through hook or by crook. And honestly, I respect that hustle. I would a lot of times apply what he would do at my organization, but here's the thing, sometimes you have to be a natural at some things, and sometimes you just need to not feel shame and just go for it. For me, I had boundaries in a lot of places, and because I believe in meritocracy so much, I actually wanted to put in the work. So no offense to him, but I learned a lesson and now it's up to you if you want it. I'm very selective with my power of networking because at the end of the day, you don't want to come off as fake. If something is coming naturally to you and you are able to network in that space, go ahead, because authenticity is always visible. But if you're trying to force it, people would see that through you and you would get minus point. So if you really want to network, there's an art to it, and this is where I'm going to teach you. Let's start with your career. If you want to advance in your career and you want to network better, you need to understand that attendance is mandatory. The more you show up, the more you come in light and people notice you that, hey, he's here, that is the kind of attention you're going to get, because reputation is built on attendance. Conferences, workshops, seminars, these are great places to meet professionals in your field. Exchange your cards as much. Tell them about what you do. You need to market yourself like no other, because marketing and networking are interlinked and they have a big role in the kind of success you're going to have. You need to approach people with genuine curiosity about their work rather than an agenda. It shouldn't come as if you're asking them to pull you a favor. It shouldn't come that you are in a power dynamic situation where you're a fan. No, approach them as a friend. Engage with them, even if it's on social media, comment on their posts, share insightful content, and reach out to people whose lives are similar to yours or whose career interests you. Personalized messaging is the key. When you are approaching someone, you need to do a study. Do not just come out of the blue and just, distribute your power everywhere. If you have a target, if you have a particular person you want to be introduced to, make sure you do your research and approach them like that. You cannot just go about anywhere and everywhere, because your energy needs to be directed in the correct place, that even people will understand that this person doesn't just network with everyone. They are not just available all the time. They're very precise and thorough with what they want to get into and curate. So you need to have that mentality. You need to be approachable, but not available to everyone. The next part is a bit difficult. You need to stay in touch. Don't just network when you need something. Regularly check in with your contacts. Congratulate them if someone is going through something, if someone is having an achievement, and share information with each other. Keep them in the loop. Do not just approach people when you need something or want something, because that kind of reputation is also easy to collect. Do not be that person. The next part is not just be a taker. Don't just take. Before asking for something, offer to help or offer them your resources. Why should people invest in you? Why should people give you things? Have them see value in you rather than you coming as someone who's just asking and taking. Do not be a beggar. Connect with someone and share useful insights and see them as a peer. Because what happens in networking easily is there could be a power dynamic that's immediately seen. You don't want to come off as subordinate to someone or as a fan to someone. You want to come off as equal and respectful. And to be that, you need to have a commanding energy about you that's not overpowering, but understanding to the person you are dealing with. Again, do your study well, and when you're approaching, make sure you come in on that table with as much resources and things to offer as much as you're going to ask them for. Now let's come about when it comes to social networking, because I believe social networking has much more aura points. So you need to be in groups, you need to be active, and you need to connect with as much people as possible. It's not a popularity contest though, don't get it wrong. It's about being personable and authentic. People want to be with those who they can trust. When you create a reputation that you're trustable, you're stable, and you're someone to rely on, people will invite you more. Start investing in your social skills so that people have joy when they're around you. People think of you as this additional joy and fun person to be around, because the better your personality grows, and this is where you really have to work with yourself, people would be attracted towards you. And social networking is such a huge currency that a lot of people underestimate the value. Your social currency is going to determine how the kind of friends you're going to have, the kind of spouse you're going to have, how people are going to perceive you, the kind of neighborhood you come from, the kind of upbringing you have, the education you have. And ultimately, it's going to determine the kind of lifestyle you want. So if you want something like a level or success or a lifestyle that you want to curate, in order to be there, you need to be a member of that kind of society. What do people of that member or that society do? So you need to do your research, and a lot of life is just studying and observing. Observe other people, how they act and how they network, and then mirror them if you want to be included in those groups and accepted by them. Social media could really be your friend here. Do not just add anyone in your contacts. Do not just talk to anyone and be available to everyone. You do not have to be open to all. You have to be selective, because what people say about you matters. If you're too reserved, that's a problem. If you're too approachable, that's a problem too. So you need to be selective about where you give your energy to. And you need to maintain a lot, because a lot of friendships is maintaining. It's showing up for your friends. It's being a good person, because a lot of times you get privilege just through association, and you never know when help might come from anywhere. So don't just be there in order to get something out of it, Be a equal contributing member too, because why are you here then? If you can't host, if you can't talk, if you can't be a good friend, if you can't help, if you can't play along, then why are you there? And always branch out. Do not just be stuck with one group of friends or just these people. Have friends for different purpose in life. These are my college friends. These are my school friends. These are my work friends. These are my society friends. These are my social media friends. And do not worry to intermingle or cross connection. Because when you cross these groups with each other, you are making more networks, and you are also getting access to their network. Do not have leeches on you who are accessing your network. Have an equal mix where you are getting introduced to their friends also and to their network also, knowing what kind of background do your friends come from and knowing their friends, because that is the true power of networking. And that's how you meet and diversify your culture as you become an adult. Personal growth network requires vulnerability. Be open about your challenges and growth journey, and try to connect only with those people who have similar values and goals, because you need to match on something, right? Humans are very simple that ways. We are connected with each other on one to many common topics. There is always an interest overlap somewhere or the other. Find out that interest, dig deep into it, because I'm not here asking you to be fake. I'm not asking you to just throw your shots and hope that someone would accept you and someone would want you. No, that's not the goal. The goal is to find people who serve the same life purpose as you are looking for. It's to find people who are more like-minded. And sometimes people just click. You need to find other people as stepping stones in order to find this final network that you want of people who are like you. And when you network, sometimes you find people that fit the whole thing, but you're not interested in being friends with them. But you know they have friends, or you found friends of theirs who you're interested in or who could work out. Or even, you just want to know them and have their visiting card. Just keep a touch, but not really be involved. And that's completely fine, because that too is a part of networking, because, hey, you know them and they know you. You know what they do and they know what you do, and that's it. You can just be mutuals. You can just be known, because introductions is important, especially while we're moving towards a society that's becoming extremely individualistic. So if you really want a village, and if you really want to grow a big connective network that's going to help you out, a community, then you need to keep these things in touch. You think people who are in a community are very well known to each other or are on best terms with each other? No, 100 times vibes don't match. Your own vibes don't match with your family, let alone strangers now. Everyone at all times is not going to be on the same page, but still, you can know them and they can know you, and you can just keep it surface level. But that is where the real networking lies. Not everyone has to be your bestie. There has to be some level of just information that's floating around, but you don't have to be in depth and vulnerable with everyone. You just need to be authentic. And there's a difference between being vulnerable and being authentic. You need to be selective with who you're vulnerable with. That's your personal networking circle. But you also need to understand that those people who need to just know you but not get over involved in your life, where do they stand? So that's a different arena altogether. The most difficult part is staying in touch. It's being in touch. Do not just remove people from your friend groups or chats or your Facebook or your Instagram just because you don't talk. You never know who might just pop up in your life. I know people who have reconnected after 20 years, 10 years. People who have just out of the blue become friends. People who were not friends in college or school but then became friends later on in life, even gotten married. Business partners who never knew each other in college or even hated each other collaborated in the future on amazing startups. So you never know what's out there in the corner. Keep your eyes and ears open, because that too is a very smart part of networking. Networking done correctly is about cultivating relationships that are mutually beneficial and built on trust, support, and genuine engagement. Whether you're seeking a career, advancement, business growth, personal friendship, self-development, effective networking can unlock so many potentials, and that is the real trick to making it better. So always remember, there is that secret sauce, and it always works, and that is networking. So if you want to network with me, darlings, you can follow me on social media and on Instagram. I'm on irreplaceable.podcast. And I'm thinking of the next episode of Iced Tea with Ira. So if you want to send me your questions, you can hit me up. All the advices would be anonymous. So you can write to me and I could possibly help you with your questions. If you want to ask me about networking, hit me up and I will give you advice on an exact situation, how you can network through, even though you might hate the whole concept of it. Like if you hate someone, you want to network with them. Trust me, there are tricks to everything. So hit me up. And I'm also on TikTok now. It's ira.mishra. So hit me up there. And yeah, let's network. So that's all for today's episode. See you next time. Bye.